Hey Joe, so I'll take you really quickly through your account just to show you where some of the stuff is and for future reference because I'll be talking about some of the tutorials and where to find them in more detail because I'm going to give you a quick overview of basically how the template's put together, and then you'll see, okay, so this is how why we have all these files, and boom. So I'm just going to pop back into your account just because this is probably a little bit new to you. When you first log in, right over here we have the instructions tab. And then we have the instructions for the different bits and pieces. You're going to be looking for just general instructions, right? And then here we have prep, set, and go. That's basically just if you've never built a website before, just some tips, installation, planning, prep. But down below we have website name, tagline, graphic logo, the nav bar, accordion panels, call to action, all the different bits and pieces that are actually in the site. The info box carousel I'll be talking about shortly. I'll be talking about the website name and the tagline, and I'll show you where to make the changes there really quickly. The footer, and we just sort of scroll down, and then there's some sliders that you have in the site there. Okay, anyways, that's where you're going to find a lot of information, or resources I like to call it, because we have different bits and pieces. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go back here and just take you through the page. I'm going to take you through the index page. I'm going to take you through just like the about page and just help you get oriented with where things are and how to update them. So first thing I'm going to do is preview the index page in a web browser, right? And show you the bits and pieces here and just where you can go to make the changes and why we have it set up like this. Okay, first, anything that we have that is used on multiple pages, like we call it a global asset, it's actually called a library asset. We have the website name, the tagline, we have the social icons, phone number, the menu up here, even the contact panel. All these things are used in all pages. So we have them in what's called the library folder. Okay, and there's 3 different folders within here. You're going to see a components, a shared, and a sliders. And basically components are things that are usually within the body of the page. Shared are usually things that are like the header and the footer. And sliders, that's this area right here, any page that has a slider. So let me just quickly run through and I'll give you an example of how to update the website name and the tagline. Well, what you would do is you go into the shared folder. There's the website name right there. You just open it up, scrub over Coda Web, or the word Coda Web like so. My site, hit save, it updates, and boom, Bob's your uncle. As soon as I hit refresh, there it is right there. Oh, and hey, look, it didn't quite style itself. So what we're going to do, and in my tutorial, I think I show you how to correct this. Let's just keep this. See, we still have the website name page open. Good. Don't close that down until you preview the page and make sure it looks good, just like we did, right? So what we're going to do is do a Control Z on the keyboard to undo it, flip into code view, and now we're going to go in where it says website text 1. It says Coda. Type in the word my, and where it says web, type in the word website, or whatever you want for your website. Basically, you can type in a whole bunch of words under website 1 or website 2 and save. And we're going to go back here and I'm going to refresh, and I'm just going to show you why. Because the first word has a fatter font and it's in white. The second word has a thinner font and it's in yellow. So there's 2 separate classes we use for the website name, and that's why I suggest you do it in the code view there, because if you just do it in the design view and wipe it out, boom, Bob's your uncle, you're in trouble. So that's where you do that one, that's where you do that one, and you're done. Then you go to the tagline. Now the tagline you could do in either view. Doesn't really matter, but you just go, and my tagline, and you save the page, and you go back, and where it says this is your tagline, it's going to, you're just going to refresh, and it's going to come in and say, and my tagline. There. Now you're done. Okay. So that's why we have the different elements of the site within a library page. Excuse me, because it's a lot faster to update your site than having to go through and update every bit and piece. So I'm just going to go through it one page here, your index page, and I'm going to show you where each of those library items are so you can go and edit them. And then I'll show you which is just regular old text that you would edit in the page itself. So we've done the logo, we've done the tagline, we have the social icons, which would be social icons right here. We open this up, you're not going to see much in the design view. If you flip to code view, we use Font Awesome icons. And if we just line that up, the name of the icon, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Tumblr, boom, boom, and then the link right here, this would be to your account. If it was me, I'd be i3D Themes, right? If you don't want a link, you just get rid of the whole div container like so, right? If you want to add one, copy and paste an existing one, change the link, and then change the Font Awesome icon name right here. And to find more about Font Awesome, go to Google, type in Font Awesome, and what you'll do here is Font Awesome, like so. You go to the Font Awesome website, you look for icons, and you go down to the bottom where it says brand. There we go, and oh, Whoza, whatever this one is. You click it, there's the FA Whoza right there. Just copy it, and you go back, and where it says FA WordPress, replace with FA Whozas, or whatever that happens to be. Type in the address to your Who's account, and you're done. That's your social icons. Now I'm going to speed things up a little bit here because I just want to point out where things are. And if you need reference on how to update them, then you can just use the tutorials that I've already created. So we have the drop down bar, the menu bar right here. That's going to be the menu top. Open that up, and if we flip it over to design view, you'll see that basically it's just a bullet list, right? Right there. If you want a sub menu, you just indent the list. And if you need more of a sub menu, you can indent that list as well. And you can use your indent and outdent tools here to create sub lists or get rid of them altogether. So I can actually get rid of the entire sub menu right there. And now I just have home pages and no sub menus underneath it. And of course the tutorials will show you a lot more detail if you need them. Right. I'm going to skip the slider right now. The phone number. That's the phone number right there. And the copyright and the footer are the other two items. And then we scroll right down to the very bottom, and there's the footer right there, and there's the copyright right there. Okay, so you would open up the footer. Obviously, whatever content you see here, you can simply update. Same with the copyright, you can just simply go in here and update that as well. When you update the website name, right, it should automatically update this for you here as well. Okay. Because it's an include. So once you update this right here, once you refresh your site, it's going to change from Coda Web to whatever I happen to update. So you don't actually have to change this piece here. Right. Now, for the rest of the goodies in the page, we just show you how to update them. This is your tilt slider. Your tilt slider is now located in your library sliders folder. Tilt slider. And we just open this up here. There are the two pictures that you see. Okay. You can just go ahead and change those two pictures. And how do you change a picture? Well, in Expression Web, you just double click, right? Open up the picture properties. There's the picture right there. You hit browse. You can browse to wherever you've loaded in your new pictures. And I suggest you put them into the images folder. So where we have the sliders, tilt slider images, I suggest you put them in there. You go into here and you go, oh, I'm going to change it with this image right here. Click open and OK, and boom, it changes the picture for you right there. And I also suggest you try to use the same size images. How do you know what size to use? Well, double click on the existing picture, and it's going to tell you this is the slide 1-2 JPEG. Okay, and if you look in the images folder here, you'll see slide 1-2. When you click it, it tells you it's 647 by 470. So try and get your replacement image about the same size as that, 647 by 470, or 640 by 480 would be another good size. That's a standard digital camera type image, right? And then down below we have these taller ones right here, and that happens to be a slider 2-1 JPEG. Right? So slider 2-1, and there's the size right there. So that's where your pictures are. You can change the title and the description and just change the pictures, and you're done. And of course we have the video that walks you through the tilt slider component in its full entirety, and it'll show you how to update the entire thing in more detail if you need that, and that's in your instructions page. Okay. After the tilt slider, we have the info box carousel, and basically this is just a regular Bootstrap carousel that has a picture, it has a heading, a paragraph, and a button, and it sort of scrolls through the different bits and pieces. Now the reason we put this into a library item as opposed to just having it on the page is because in a component like this, very much like the tilt slider, there are things that are off page. In other words, if we hit the button here, it takes us to our next 4 boxes, which are technically off page or out of view, right? We only show 4 at a time. But if you were in the design window of your page and you were trying to edit that on the index page itself, it would just look like a big bloody mess. It'd be very hard to actually edit. So we put them into library files because if we go into the components folder and the info box carousel, now everything's stacked top to bottom. Want to change a picture, you just double click it. You can hit the browse button, right? You can go and find your replacement picture, right? And find out where the original picture is kept, find the replacement picture, change your heading, change your description. There's the more button, and the video instructions that I have will really go into more detail, but it makes it a lot easier once you understand, you know, where these things are located on how to edit them. Okay. So after the info box carousel, the call to action right here, there's the call to action right there. Grab your visitor's attention, get started now, just a piece of text, update this, and you're done. After that, we have the image gallery. Now you may not want this. It's a big complex gallery with a lot of functionality because you can have different categories up here. It has the ability to have a little light box image right here. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just going to close this down, and I'll show you where you would go to edit that. And that would actually be in the components folder still, and it's the Isotope portfolio. And just like all our components, when you actually open up the page, you'll see that, oh, everything's in text format, picture right there, title, description, read more button right there, on to number 2, title, description, button, right? And the video will really take you through in detail if you want to use this. But this is one of those things where not everybody's going to want to use it right out the door because it's big and complex and you may not need it. So if you don't want something in your page, right, what you can do is go find the area in the page where it's sort of loaded in, and you can sort of tell right here our newest image gallery, right? Our newest image gallery. Just look for the title of the component in the page, like this here, and then you can actually sort of look to the what we call the quick tag selector. And starting at the left, it's always going to start off with a DWT editable. So you sort of click somewhere in the area that your component is located, right? And then you look for the DWT editable, and the first div container to the right, click it, press delete on your keyboard, and the entire thing is gone. So if you don't want that section, you can easily remove it from the page just by sort of clicking on something located within that section. Find the DWT editable, find the div section to the very right, select and delete. And flowing down the page after that, this is just regular text. Then we have our testimonial slider right here, and that is a library component, and it is located right here. If we open that up, there's a testimonial slider. There's the title, the description, the image, and the link right there. And if you notice in the page here, we have the title, the description, the picture, and the link, right? And then if you hit the buttons, it goes to the next block of information and animates into the page, right? Here we have just regular text in the page that you would edit, right? Over here we have a side menu and a featured video. Now these are library components. These two things right here. And here is our featured video. Just open it up if you need to. And if you want to use this component, this is one of those things you just flip to code view and you paste your Google iframe in right there in place of what's already there, or you can just actually change the video code right there and it'll display a new video. Now the side menu, once again, something you may or may not want to use because it does have sort of a drop down and it may be a feature you want to use. If you do want to use it, it's located actually in the shared folder. there it is, the menu side right there. And once again, it's like the other menu. It's just a bullet list with, you know, an indented sort of sub menu right there. Video will take you through and really go through the details for you, right? And after that, we get into the accordion panel. And the accordion panel, once again, because it has hidden areas in here, a little bit easier to edit while it's in a library page. Same with the quotes rotator over here. So I'll just show you what those two things are. So we have in our components, we have the accordion panels right here. Open that up. There it is. There's the text. There's the panel title. There's the image and the blurb. Right. There's the, you know, the button. Then we have the next thing down here. And basically, what you could do is just actually open up each one. Sort of accordion. Say you want to change the accordion panel's title, and then just look at the text here and that. And whenever I'm editing a website, I always have the page I'm editing open in a browser so I can use it as a reference. So let's say I want to change the accordion panel's text right here. I just go to my thing and oh, there it is right there, accordion panels. The next thing I may want to change is the content within. The accordion panels are part of the basic Bootstrap framework. So I look for that text. Ah, the accordion panels are right there. Now what is this piece of text coming up here? This very top piece? Right here. That's where it comes in at. Okay. So, and then the quotes rotator, that is quote rotator small, open it up, open it up. There's your title of the quotes rotator, the actual quote, and the author, or whoever said it. And you can use that as testimonials as well. That's what a lot of people actually end up doing. Right, and after that, we have our footer. So those are all the different pieces of your index page. Okay, and this is the one page that has a lot of library components because there's a lot of moving pieces in it. Right, it's almost like a one-page website if you wanted to do that as well. Now the about page or any other page in your site, quite a bit different because pretty much everything in here you would edit in the page itself. Okay, and there's nothing in here that's really going to require, so you know, your page title, your content, your text down here, your images, right? Everything else is actually, you know, the top of the page. You've already updated that through the library file, so everything in the page itself is stuff you would edit, except you've already done the footer. So that's a quick tour of where you'd find this stuff in the template. I also suggest the enhancement and the features folders. You don't really need these. This is information just for you. You can actually get rid of these. There's some extra pages within the pages folder, obviously, and any extra slider. We give you the amazing slider. That's located in the sliders folder there as well. But these two here, they just talk about the different features in the template and different enhancements you can add to the site at some point in time if you wish.